Namaskaram, hello, welcome to Cinephile India. I just came back home watching Chiyaan Vikram's new movie directed by Arun Kumar, Veera Dheera Sooran, Part-2. Yes, this is Part-2. If you are thinking where is Part-1, the answer is they haven't shot it yet. They haven't filmed it. So they planned two parts from the get go and they shot part 2 first. And then the part 1 movie that hopefully it will come at some point in the future is going to be the sequel, if you were to go by the naming of the movie. Anyway, how is part 2? So I'll tell you what I liked about the movie. I loved the cinematography by Theni Eswar. Theni Eswar is one of the best cinematographers we have in India for a good reason, and this movie proves it. I'll tell you why. And I loved Vikram, SJ Suryah, Dushara. They all did amazingly well. And surprisingly, which I haven't noticed, I saw this person in the trailer. I had my doubts whether he's the same person or not, but it is the same person. We have Prudhvi Raj, the 30 years Prudhvi from the Telugu industry, playing a very crucial role in this movie, and he was a surprise package in this movie. He has been used as a comedian, as a character artist, as maybe a sidekick of a villain in Telugu cinema, but this movie gave him a big platform and a canvas to perform, and he did hit of the park. He was a surprise package. All the crew, the acting crew, acting department were all good. Cinematography is awesome. GV Prakash Kumar's music was apt. It's good. However, what I felt was the writing could have helped, used a lot of help. SU Arun Kumar, I mean, I haven't watched any of his earlier movies. The only movie that I watched was Chitta with Siddharth that released in 2023. I thought it was a very well done movie, and when I heard about this movie and written by the same person, I was genuinely excited. I wanted to see what he has in it for us this time. And I must say, I'm actually disappointed with this movie. Don't get me wrong, the characterization of Vikram was established very well. The subtle expression, the subtle emotions, they're all done very well. However, there are certain things in the movie that didn't have any space in the movie. The entire movie happens in the span of one night in the movie, right? And I mean, the only other movie, at least in Indian movie, that I know of that in the recent past is Kaidi by Lokesh Kanakaraj. We know how that movie is, right? I mean, we all love it. So I'm not comparing both movies, but the reason I brought it up is because it takes a certain kind of gumption to take on something like that and convince the audience to keep us engaged, because there is limited scope in this movie with respect to the locale, the atmosphere, the set, whatever you may call. If the whole thing happens in a village and there are barely 3 or 4 locations in the entire movie, and a handful of characters sprinkled throughout, it is very hard to kind of capture the interest and sustain the interest for 2.5 hours. But unfortunately, SU Arun Kumar was not able to do it. And the reason for that is there is absolutely no emotional connect whatsoever with the characters. Yes, we do understand Vikram's character, Kaali. We do understand his background a little bit. We do understand why he is behaving the way he is behaving, as somebody who can go to any extent to protect his family. Given his violent past, he's kind of off of it. He's put off because of his family. He has 2 kids. He has his wife, Dushara, supporting him. It's all good. But then the movie kind of focuses on some random things that it never quite settles in place. The first half was excellently done. The first half, the pacing was amazing, and I was expecting a lot more action, a lot more thrill in the second half. But then the screenplay, the energy takes a nosedive in the second half because of a lengthy flashback episode, which is actually not that lengthy if you think about it, about 25 or 30 minutes, but it felt like an hour long. And the main reason is they discuss about a very crucial character in the movie that is the reason for the change in the character of Vikram in this movie, but we never get to know who the character is. We never get to know who the person is, except we just know the name, but that's it. We don't know who the person is. We don't know how Kaali and that person is related, and we don't know what happened to that person. All we know is something had happened, and because of that, Kaali gave up everything and became a good man. When you have that kind of premise, it's very hard to connect with any emotion. From that point on, it's extremely difficult for us to connect to anything that Kaali does in the movie, because why is he doing it? Right? So my thought was, why did they even have this flashback when they actually planned two parts of the movie from the get-go? They could have easily had that along with a broader story of what Vikram used to do before he was a changed man. Right? They could have dedicated an entire movie for that. But instead, they tried to kind of shoehorn that flashback in just to evoke some emotional drama. And it absolutely not only did not connect with anyone, it also took away whatever interest it had generated in the first half of the movie. That was the biggest drawback. And the second one is editing. So there is this thing about Chekhov's gun, right? Not technically a gun, but what it means is if you are shown something, you are showing something in the movie, you better use it, especially something that is of significance, right? Here they talk about landmines and those kind of stuff. They do use it, but then it doesn't come as convincing, because you still have some open questions like, okay, something of that importance. I mean, you'll understand when you watch the movie, but then there are a few things missing. I'm sure they filmed those, except that it didn't make the final cut. So editing could have been much better. As I said, it kind of goes hand in hand with the pacing of the movie in the second half, especially when you have this flashback episode with almost zero emotional connect to the audience. You have to make editing really crisp to keep the emotional quotient high that we generated in the first half. But even editing takes a nosedive in the second half, and it feels like it never settles. It just kind of like jumps off a cliff, and it never recovers at all up until the very last climax scene, the climatic moment. Even that, it was not as impactful as the first half of the movie. So I must say the movie started off on a very high note. All the actors did tremendously well. S.J. Suryah, Vikram, Dushara, Prudhvi, they were all amazing in their roles. The cinematography was amazing because Theni Eswar, he captures the essence of what's going on, the atmosphere, the surroundings at night. It's very difficult to kind of show everything the way you want to at night because of the lighting control, and then he does a tremendous job. As I said, that's the reason why I said he is one of the most celebrated cinematographers, in my opinion, in India today. So besides that, the writing fell really flat in terms of generating any kind of emotional connect, and in the end, the film didn't work for me at all, actually, to be honest with you. So that's it for this review. If you watch this movie and if you like the movie, please do comment why you like the movie. I would like to learn your point of view as well. And if you like this video, please do share, like this video. And if it's the first time you're watching a video on my channel, please do consider subscribing. I'll meet you again in the next video with a review of another movie. Until then, take care.